Hello guys, today we are going to learn about some basic things in Git and GitHub. While doing my research for learning programming, I found out that many programming companies and programmers use GitHub and Git for version control and collaboration. So I thought that it will be beneficial for me to learn Git before learning other programming languages, so that when I'm doing my when I'm learning programming languages, I can use Git and GitHub and get used to it, so that when I go and get a real job, it won't be a problem for me. Or when I go and collaborate with other programmers on projects, it won't be a problem for me. So what I'm going to do now is just learn some basic commands about Git and GitHub and teach you as well. So if you are new to programming and would like to continue on the learning journey with me, then please hit the subscribe button and let's learn about Git today. So what is Git? It is a distributed version control system used to track changes in any set of computer files. So Git is a distributed version control system you can use to track changes in anything that you are doing on the computer files. Usually used by programmers to collaborate on a software development project. Now, what is GitHub? It is a code hosting platform for version control and collaboration. So it is like Instagram, Facebook, etc. So in Instagram, Facebook, you upload photos and your other things, and so Instagram and Facebook will host whatever you upload, like your posts or photos. So similarly, GitHub is the platform to host your codes. And over there, you work together for controlling the version of the software and collaborate with other programmers to work together on a software project. Similarly, there are also other platforms that can be used instead of GitHub, and they are GitLab, Bitbucket, and many more. Repository. So usually is to organize a single project. It is like a package. So whenever you start something new project on the GitHub or Git, it is called a repository. So it's like a package where you put every folder, files, images, videos, etc. So you can think it as a folder where you are going to work. So every file, programs, every images, videos that you need for a software development on a part for a particular project will be kept inside that folder. You can think it like that. And when you create a repository, most of the time it has a file called readme. It will have a readme.md. So that's the file extension, and it will have its own syntax. And if you want to go deep, you can learn about that. So whatever instruction you want to put for a project, you can put inside this readme md, so that if someone comes and starts working or collaborating with you on a project, they can look at this and understand what you are doing on the software. So when you create a repository, there is a definitive branch and it is called main. So that's the main branch. So this is where the main source code will be. And when you have to make some changes on this one, you will create something called branch. This is also called feature. When created, it will be exactly similar to the main branch at that point in time. Suppose you create it now, you will have the same code as you had in the main branch. So you think the whole repository as a tree, and then the main branch, you can think it as a trunk of the tree, the big fat branch at the middle, and then it has got side branches. So the features are the side branches. So while you work on a branch, you will have the ability to work on the source code without affecting the main branch. So any changes made in the branch, made in the feature, will not affect the main branch. So when you are happy with making the changes, then you send it to the main branch as a commit. So whatever you make the change, so as far as I have understood, so whatever changes you make and send it, that is called commit. And when you do that, someone who is controlling the repository, they will get a pull request. So it is a request to add the changes to the main branch. So you send a commit. So that is the request that you made for them to add the changes to the main branch. So what they will do is they will look into it, and if they are happy with the changes, then they will authorize it and then merge it into the main branch. So you can think pull request as you are making a request for them to pull your code into the main branch. So you can think about push and pull. So you're just making a request for them to pull it into the main branch. So that's pull request. So these are some of the basic terms that I found, and I think if you learn this much, then you can use Git and Github while working and learning the programming language that you are learning. So now let's look into how we can start using GitHub. So this is the dashboard. So when you go to github.com, you will be prompted to make a new ID if you don't have one. So you make an ID, you use your email, create password, you put it, you set up your ID, and then you will reach over here. So once you are here, to create a new repository, all you have to do is click on this button over here. See this button over here? So click on this drop down arrow and then click on new repository. So now you will be led to a new page. Give the repository name here. So whatever you want to name it, let's write practicing Git, practicing -Git. So that's available. You put a description here if you want to put. Okay, we are going to learn Git and GitHub. So you do this. If you want to keep it private, you keep it private. If you want to keep it public, you keep it public. If you want to add a README file, you add a README file clicking this button. Let's do it for now. And then you hit the create repository. See, now you have created a new repository called practicing Git, and you have a main branch. So now let's add something into this one. Let's add files and folders into this. Okay, I'll create a new folder here. Let's create a folder called HTML, and inside this, let's create a new text document. Let's just create something called learning Git. So this will be .txt. So let's create this. So now we have a file that we can keep inside here. So to add the file, all you have to do is click on add file. So if you want to create new file, you can create new file as well. Or if you want to upload files, let's upload file from here. So drag files over here. So we will just do that. Drag the file, drop it there. That has been there. So you can see here, you made some changes to the repository. Now what you are going to do is commit changes. You can either commit directly to the main branch, as you can see here, or you can create a new branch for this commit and start a pull request. What I'm going to do is commit directly to the main branch. So now the new file has been added. You can see it here. So what I will do is add a new file through here. I will create a new file. Let's create a new file called, so name your file over here. So let's create a new file called git-new-file.html. So let's add something over here as well. Type HTML, add, and then let's write the title, learning GitHub. Let's just do that, and then body. Let's write S1. We are learning Git and GitHub. So let's just do this for now, and then so we are happy. We are happy with all the addition that we have done. Then I am going to do commit changes. So I will commit this directly to the main branch for now. So now we have the new file.html as well. So now we will be adding a branch. So how we are going to do that is by clicking on this button over here. You see this main button over here. You click here, and then you will have option. So you can see here, it's written find or create a branch. You just write a branch name. Okay, let's write first branch. And then when you do that, if there was any branches called first branch, then it would have found it over here, but we don't have it. So it says create branch, first branch from main. So you click on this, that will create a new branch called first branch. See here, it says that this branch is up to date with the main. So as you can see, there are 3 files in here, and then you go to the main, you have 3 files. Let's say you want to make some changes in the git new file.html. So you get this over here. You click on that file and then you can start adding things whatever you like. Let's say I want to change the title to learning Git. Okay, before that you need to click here, edit this file. So now what you can do is, let's say I want to change this and write learning Git and Github. We are learning Git and Github. Then I will make another change over here. Learning Git is easy. Let's just write this and then let's say commit the changes. So let's send some description as well. Made changes in the HTML file. Let's just do that, and you can either create a new branch and start a pull request, or you can commit directly to the first branch. So I will do commit to the first branch directly. So you click on commit changes. So now if you go back to the code by clicking here, you can see that there has been some changes less than a minute ago. So you go to the main and then you can see that there has been some changes, recent pushes, recent commit. So now you need to compare and pull the request. So you need to check the differences and pull the request. So you click on that compare and pull request button and see here it says made changes in the HTML file. Okay, so now I know like some changes has been made in the HTML file. So I will go down and take a look over here. See here, so that was the new change, learning Git and Github, and this was the addition. So this thing was removed, you see here minus, and this thing was added, plus plus. Okay, so I can see that these two are the changes and I am happy with the changes, and I will create the pull request now. You click on this button, create pull request, and then it will check if it can be merged or not. Okay, this branch has no conflicts with the base branch, and then all you have to do is merge the pull request and then confirm the merge. So pull request has been successfully merged and closed. So now you can delete the first branch. So if you want, you can delete the branch because we don't need it anymore because this has been changed. So let's go to the main area of the repository. Let's click on the code. So I am in the main branch. Now let's see if the change has been updated or not. Let's click on the new file.html. See here, now the changes has been adopted. Now the change has been accepted and it has been changed in the main file as well. So that is basically it. These are some of the basic commands that you need to know, and if you know this, you can use GitHub easily. There are some extra commands like other advanced commands as well, but as long as you understand these basic commands, I think we will be able to use this. So whenever we are working on the project, we can show that when we apply for job or when we go and work with other programmers, we can easily understand Git and GitHub, and we will be able to use this as well, and we won't have any problem in the future. And if we have to learn advanced stuff, then we can learn as well. But this thing, at least we can say like, okay, I know what to do with Git, what is Git, how to use it. At least I can say that. And now we learned how to do everything from the website github.com. I will upload a part 2 for this as well, where you will be able to run Git through your local system, through your local computer, without going to the website of github.com. Thank you for watching, and please like, share and comment on this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.